All right, this is Nim, and Nim is going to make pork with garlic over rice. Yum, yum, yum. Very excited. This is a building behind her house in Lampang, and you can see she's got tables where she makes homemade sushi and cooks other things too. Chai. So that looks like Chinese cabbage and cucumber, red onion, tomatoes, lime, peppers. It's not a Thai kitchen without peppers. Fish sauce, little sink, 2-burner stove over there, and a bunch more there. I think that's oyster sauce. It's the same brand I have. It's more little limes over here in a basket, and that I recognize the oyster sauce because that's the same Golden Mountain, I think it is. Yeah, yep, oyster sauce. You can see on the label where it says it in English. That's good stuff. I love oyster sauce, and then of course more fish sauce because you can't have enough fish sauce. Eggs at one point. Looks like evaporated milk or condensed milk. Maggie, chai. Must have Maggie on everything. Makes it taste better. Ice bucket with for glass. Little chopping block. Now that's a cutting board. Yeah, that's a cutting board right there. Big old hunk of wood. And in the shop restaurant, we used to pound hammer. Take hammer. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, on this big cutting board, we used it as a base to flatten things on, pound things on. Tofu, you'll see that in the big, whatchamacallits, the shabu, the big buffets that they have here. That's always an ingredient that people boil and put into the hot pot. Various plates. Baskets. The baskets, like these baskets, are used to keep bugs out. They cover, you see the bugs flying around, so yeah, that keeps bugs away from the condiments on the table or the food. Cabbage, tofu. She's done this a time or two before. Chai. So that's like semi-firm tofu. You can see it's kind of gelatinous. It's not silken tofu, but it's semi-firm. Moo. Chai. Here's the moo. Yum, yum, yum. All right. Little juicer there, I see. Next to the limes is carrot. This is one of my favorite dishes in Thailand, is the pork with garlic over rice. Very simple dish. It's not hot. It's not spicy. Pet mai chai. So, grated cucumber. Look at those expert hands. Good at work. Done this a million times. Very impressive. Almost could do it with our eyes closed. Very fast, very efficient, practiced movements. That's way faster than I could peel a carrot. Wow. And that's going to be used for something. I know that gets saved because Thais don't throw anything away. garden, compost, grow garden, chai? Yeah, chai. Because she grows her own pineapple, she grows her own kaffir lime, she grows her own galangal, which is like a ginger-like spice. She has a garden surrounding this place with different fruits and veggies. So you can't see it from this little window, but it's here. She sent me pictures of it before. Look at this side. That's a bigger fridge than I have in my condo. That's huge. So that's cool. Oh, sushi seasoning. Okay. So that's what she makes, homemade sushi, which I think is awesome. And this is the seasoning for it. Arrow is the macro brand, the big box store like Costco. 1 liter. I can't see what's in it. It just says sushi seasoning. But I'm sure I'll have some of her sushi too. But for lunch, it's pork and garlic. I just drove down from Chiang Mai. I was putting together, okay. I think that's MSG. Salt, sugar, and MSG. That's garlic powder. And for the oil. Maggie chai. So if it didn't have MSG before, it does now. Chai. Maggie makes everything taste better. It's a little cook secret here in Thailand. And in between the table and the height of that log, it's the perfect height for her to chop. Although it does look like her arm's up a little bit. I think in a perfect world, they'd be lowered by a couple of inches, but she's used to chopping at that level. I'll show you. Hold on. All right. So the old fart just showed the young dog new tricks. I showed her how to chop carrot without cutting her fingers off by putting your fingers like that, like a chef. So hopefully she won't cut her fingers off anytime soon. That was some kind of bean paste or like a bean curd or dried cabbage. It looks like a disc. Yeah, I'll have to look it up later to see what exactly it is. But it looks like red cabbage put together. It's like almost like a Brillo pad consistency or 3M scrubby pad. But yeah, my guess would be beets or red cabbage. And it's dry. There's the moo. Moo, moo, moo. Okay, so the water's boiling already. It's a good stove, propane, which is the same thing we had in the kitchen at TTK. How cool is it to have a commercial setup in your backyard? I like that. And the garden. I guess a lot of her veggies come. She grows them herself. Very cool. Chai. Lots of moo for lots of big boy I can eat. Everybody in the pool. Trying to heat up a little bit. Back to the fridge. More veggies. Looks like spring onion. And then what she's taking out, cilantro?
Chai.
Chai. Cilantro. Used in Mexican and Asian food. There you go. Chai, 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 chai. She's learning. No chop fingers off. That's no good. I want you to keep all 10 fingertips. And also with this, you don't even have to put your hand. Just go like this. Chai. No problem. Now we got the spring onion, which is delish.
Dad?
Aha, Dad's calling.
Oh.
Sure, sorry. Okay, we took a quick commercial break to run out to my truck and move it because it was blocking her neighbor from pulling out of his driveway. It happens in Thailand. Very small streets and big truck. And as I've said before, that truck is too big for the streets of Thailand, especially Lampang. Ah, yes, mortar pestle, chai. I like. Awesome. I don't know what she's going to grind, but it's going to be fun. Check out her technique. Pumpkin, oh, garlic. Little small bits of garlic. Chai. And there you go, just a little mat so it doesn't move, because she is going to pound that sucker. There you go, with the skins on too. Notice the skins stay on here, and a lot of times they'll eat shrimp with the skins on also. Aha, she broke out the wok when I was moving the truck. That's actually rice bran oil as opposed to vegetable oil or corn oil like you usually use in the States. And of course olive oil. Olive oil is too expensive to cook with. Pork is simmering nicely in its little bath. It's happy. Little hot tub. Oh, that looks good. There might be banana. That could be fried banana. Looks tasty. I just saw that. Pork over there. Letting the oil heat up in the wok. So they do the mise en place thing here too, where she's got the garlic ready, she got the veggies ready, she got the pork ready. So some pork has been simmering in that broth and some pork is just still raw. And I guess there's a combination that go into this dish. That's why I wanted to video it, because I love this dish and this is something I'll make for myself at some point. There you go, tongs. So oil's hot, everything's ready. Looks like the pork goes in first. You can hear the wok sizzling, the oil. That wasn't long at all. It heated up very quick. Pork in first. Listen to that sizzle. Maybe adjust it, but I'll make sure you did. Because when you put the cold pork in, it's going to bring down the temperature of the oil. Yum, yum, yum. You can see it's already starting to brown on the bottom, how quick it turns from red to like a brownish and eventually dark. Quick clean up the container. Once again, we got the other pork with the carrots bubbling. Over there you can see how that's pretty much fully cooked. And then with this guy, he's sizzling away. Looks good. The one arm behind the back is a special technique. Yeah, that one arm behind the back. like you're fencing. Touche. Yeah, look how quickly that pork cooks up. That's probably a minute and a half, and that stuff's almost ready to go. It's incredible. Got the strainer. Get the extra oil off of it. But now, of course, there you go, the spider. She's using a spider and a strainer. And of course, the oil will taste like the pork, so I don't know if she's going to just throw it out or use it again for something else. Because that has some good flavor in it now that the pork is cooked in it. Using the spider instead of the strainer. Okay. And she also has a basket, as you can see, that doubles as she can use as a strainer for maybe noodles. I think you put noodles in that basket. And here, White Boy only has one strainer. I feel left out. Look at that. The plates and cups. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to say 2 to 3 minutes tops on that pork. It seems to be cooking very quickly. There's a lot of heat in that wok. 1,000, 2, 2,000, 3, 3,000, 4, 4,000, 5, 5,000. Yeah, it's actually like a medium high. It's not as high as I thought, but it's being the way it's shaped, that oil's cooking the pork pretty fast. So into the cabbage and the carrots. She's also going to put the tofu, but she's waiting because tofu doesn't take long to cook. Okay. So tofu doesn't really have that much flavor, but it will absorb the flavor of that broth that's been cooking for, I don't know, 10 minutes now. Something like that, as long as the video is. That's why I started it when she kind of put that broth on. Back to the wok. Yeah, we're coming up on probably 3 minutes, maybe a little bit more. And you can see it's actually turning brown now. It's getting some color, which is deliciousness. All right, Matt. Yum. Yeah, funny farang, butcher, Thai, I know. I will learn this year. If for nothing else, just to have that skill set. Chai. Chop the cilantro and the green onion. She's putting the white part of the green onion into the broth. This is definitely more involved than the garlic pork I've had so far. This is a pretty involved dish, which is cool. I like the sophistication of this version of it. And, not long, like 10 minutes for the broth, call it 15, 20 minutes total to make this dish. That's something I'm willing to do, especially when I have a kitchen next year, when I move to a house. I have a little Thai kitchen outdoors. There it is, the broth is done. Nice. Yum. So it's basically 2 types of pork, like a boiled pork and then the fried pork. I've only ever had the fried one. Okay. Looks good. Looks very good. There goes the little red cabbage wafer. You hear it tearing. It's, like I said, super dry, like a Brillo pad consistency, but I know it's some kind of vegetable. I would guess red cabbage, because that's what it looks like. Well, actually, when she cooks it, we'll see if it comes out looking like boiled red cabbage. That's what I think it is. So some came out, the rest are still in the pot. All right, so we're about 4 minutes in, but you can see the color. It's starting to get some really nice brown on that pork. Smooth. Wow, that cabbage reconstitutes very quickly. Doesn't quite look like red cabbage. It's a little bit browner. So before I eat it, I will ask, using the translator, what exactly that ingredient is. I'm curious. No cilantro goes on at the end, so it doesn't cook. It's more of a garnish. That's cool. Some people don't like cilantro. They say it tastes soapy. I like it. I actually like the flavor. And a little bit more, and that's going to kind of wilt the cilantro just a hair. Get out of the way. She's looking for something. Ah, there you go. All right, we got to see what that is. Now I'm curious what powder goes on the top. Pepper. Green. It looks like green peppercorn, but it's a powder. So like black pepper, but green pepper, and it's already ground. Interesting. Okay. I don't even think I've seen that as an ingredient here before. Okay, that's the strainer that's getting the excess oil off of the pork. That's what the spider is for. Let it drain out a little bit. Of course, just like bacon fat, I would have been okay. Garlic. Okay. So she turned the heat up, and she's taken all the pounded garlic, including the wrapper or paper around the garlic, and frying that in the same oil that the pork cooked in. Oh man, it instantly smells really good. Wow, that's amazing how fast that odor wafts up. There's the drained pork, and I've had it more like a minced pork, and this is more like chunks of pork. So this looks like a very good dish. You can smell. Yeah, chai. As soon as she put that in the oil, man, poof, this whole area started smelling fragrant, like toasted garlic. Huh? Very nice. More of the green peppercorn. I learned something new today because I hadn't seen that before in Thai cooking. And it's interesting the way this has the paper and everything on it. I'll have to, when I eat it, I'll have to see if that's, funky tasting. So you see her adjust the heat a couple of times. And that's the thing that novice cooks don't do. They just leave everything on 10. And turning off the gas, she's done. So she's just using the residual heat from the wok. It's completely off now. But at first she turned it up. She put the spurs to it for the last, 10, 15 seconds because it wasn't getting crispy enough. Now she's sort of draining it by taking it off to the side. Crispy garlic on top of the crispy pork. Wow. That looks really good. Chai. Ah, there you go. Cucumber, chai. Now, this isn't a spicy dish, but cucumber comes with almost every Thai meal to cool down. To, take the bite off of the spice. So this is traditional to put that with almost any Thai dish. and some carrot. She forgot the finger thing. You know, not for nothing, but she's been chopping for 20 years and hasn't cut her fingers off, but just trying to help out. Okay, beautiful sway. Sway. All right, so I'm sitting at one of the little small tables where the bench is very low, so I'm sitting down very low for big boy. She brought some rice with some little black sesame seeds on top, a little soy sauce or Maggi sauce, and here's the two finished dishes. The pork pork garlic with 2 different ways, and some nam, of course. I am anxious to dig in and test it out and try it. Okay, diving into the broth with the cilantro. Oh man, that is really freaking good. That is so good. We'll try some of that red stuff, see if it is cabbage, although it doesn't look like it because it's brown. It could be seaweed. I'm definitely going to ask her what that ingredient is. Because eating it, it tastes like seaweed. Now here's some pork. Very tender. Very delicious. Happy. Now I'll try some of the fried garlic pork, which once again is different than the one I had at Chiang Mai Ram, and even in the restaurant when I first met them down here. They're both different. So you dip it in a little sauce, get a little bit of rice, and a little bit of pork dangling by a thread. Oh my God. That is seriously good eats. Wow. All right, Mark. Oh, she couldn't help herself. She brought more. Now this fried pork. There's little pieces of fried pork and carrots, and oh my God. Guys, I am in heaven here. This is a delicious meal. So it's basically what she said was, come and I'll make you fried pork with garlic, which is what that is over there. And when I came, now she's making me pork 3 ways. And so far, 2 of the 3 are incredibly delicious. With the weight on man's hearts through his stomach, I'm gonna marry this girl. Jesus Christ. It's amazing food. Very, very good food. Some of the best I've had in Thailand. I'm in a lady's backyard in Lampang, about 2 hours south of Chiang Mai. Go figure. All right, so just when I think she's done whipping up magic in the kitchen, she brings me a homemade Thai tea with milk, which is what I usually order in restaurants. So she's just full of tricks back there in her little space. So you can see I'm halfway through the garlic pork, halfway through the red crispy pork, and well, a quarter of the way through the broth. I like this, it's very good, but I like the red pork better than this, and I like the pork with garlic better than that, just because it's outstanding and yummy. So I'm digging my way through. Hopefully she'll come over and join me now that she's got the tea done, and she's been cleaning up the whole time I've been eating. So I just had a sip of the milk tea. Go away, fly. All my food. Mine. And I'll tell you what, it's right up there with any milk tea I've had in any restaurant. It's outstanding. Sweet but not too sweet, or just the right amount of milk. I mean, this girl knows how to make food. Bottom line. All right, probably the last video of this series. The mystery red stuff that I thought might be seaweed is actually dried red bean curd. So that's why it comes in that disc with the Brillo-like consistency, crackly. And then once again, she reconstitutes it in the boiling water, and it turns into this, which is kind of like spinach or seaweed. Soft, very tasty. The broth is a little bit salty from the fish sauce she put in, but not overpowering salty, very just delicious. And everything, I'm telling you, is so good. This is one of the best Thai teas I've had since I've been in the country. Once again, just the perfect, you can taste the milk, you can taste the tea, you can taste the sweet, but nothing overpowers the rest of it. Just, fat boys in heaven. Okay, so Nim finally joined me. She's done messing around in the kitchen, and she got me this giant bowl of pork soup, and look what she brings. Like a serving dish. Not much bigger than the soy sauce dish. She brings a tiny little, her thing of rice is smaller thing. That's why she weighs a lot less than I do. Thai portion versus Farang portion. Big difference.